Hi guys! I have written another essay and I would like to read it out to you. Usually I just write it and then I bawl, you know what I mean? I just write bullet points. But today I decided to write an essay. And I'll also post like a PDF on the side, maybe the side version, of what I wrote, because I have one little cheeky little picture. But yeah, let's get started. The title of the essay is Jeanette Epps, the Astronaut, on intensity training. I went to Jeanette Epps' talk yesterday. She overviewed her career, the things she did. Incredible speaker. I have nothing but good things to say. She overviewed her career mostly and explained her experiences for as much as the time of her talk would allow her to. The way she spoke also reminded me of Obama. I wonder if it stems from working as a CIA officer prior to her career at NASA. Extremely eloquent. The thing I want to talk about is the idea of intensity training. Jeanette spent a good portion of her time emphasizing the experiences she was placed in through NASA before even going to space. The diverse amount of experiences and the years of training the astronauts in training did surprise me a lot. This included learning to fly a fighter jet, survival hiking with her team in the wilderness, hiking down a cliff in the pitch dark. And when I mean hiking down, she was showing these crazy photos of literally a cliff. And when I mean hiking, I don't mean walking hiking. It was more of a situation where you're on the top of the cliff, you kind of anchor yourself with ropes and shit, and you using the ropes, you kind of climb down. But then when you look down, it's pitch dark. So low-key terrifying. Working in a submarine, Russian language intense training camp. So that was around 30 days, she said. Learning to work underwater for hours at a time every day. And she said this was around 6 hours, if I'm remembering correctly. And this was every day, 6 hours just being in water. And not you come up, you go down. She was in that shit, you know what I mean? With equipment and all. Getting medical training, such as how to take their own blood, first aid, and more, and more, So why? How do these experiences relate to going to space, to each other? I think it is a certain level of intensity training by doing these surreal? I think it's pronounced surreal. Okay, one more time. By doing these surreal, mentally taxing activities over and over again, people are able to develop a greater tolerance to the extremes. It allows for a sense of, I've done something like this before. It trains the astronaut candidates to know how to react, or, at the very least, develop a baseline understanding of how to endure the extremes through having prior experiences to refer back to. The main point is, by the time they get to space, nothing is truly unexpected. This makes me think back to this reel I saw where hikers documented their experience being in danger in the wild, experiencing the conditions of exposure, wild animals being lost, and how their adrenaline, and their fears during these conditions felt right. Coming back from these extreme wilderness conditions, their tolerance of things that make them nervous increased significantly. I lost my place. Oh, I found it again. Okay, so this is the question. How can someone still be afraid of public speaking when they have already felt the realness of being in a life or death situation before, especially in the wilderness? Deriving from experiencing real dangers of the wilderness, these societal anxieties cannot compare. This also makes me think about growing up and the idea of exposure therapy. I remember in 7th grade, my friends and I planned to go to a proper restaurant without a guardian. One where we had to get seated with menus, waiters, and all. It seems silly to me now, but there was a huge feeling of imposter syndrome, worries of the waiters not taking us seriously, a feeling of doing something that we were not qualified to do due to our age. Would the restaurant deny us service? What if they think we have no money? What would we do then? Of course, I grew out of these things. As kids, we grow up through socialization, interacting with the world. This is, arguably, a form of intensity training. This is exposure therapy. Activities like going to restaurants, eating alone, traveling alone. There is an unspoken ask from us to be confident with ourselves in these scenarios. All of these things don't become a big deal the more you do it. Going back to Jeanette's experience, right? Being an astronaut is an experience that is out of this world. Not only does it ask for her to keep her cool, but Jeanette would be staying in space for 6 months. She'll experience changes in her body, her mental health. Imagine being stuck in the same cramped place with the same people eating the same things. But wait, she already has experienced these trials and tribulations through her time stuck in a submarine. So yeah, let's put all of this into an abstract. Put the takeaway into words. Don't be shy. Don't shy away from experiences. Intentionally challenge yourself. In order to grow, do hard things. In order to grow, do hard things. That was a sentence. But yeah. Not the newest concept, I know, but intensity training may be a new way to think about putting yourself out there by getting through such intense circumstances. The actual hard shit you need to get through is a piece of cake compared to what you already went through. And I also have a conclusion for this conclusion, and that there is a saying that your maximum is someone else's minimum. How is it possible that someone can live life at such a high caliber compared to yours? Do so much more. Be so much more. How can you do the same? Part of the process is putting yourself out there and doing such hard shit that now you know you can achieve so much more, and you can't help but pull your baseline of life that much higher. Does that make sense? Because you do hard shit, you know that you can do hard shit, and suddenly, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you always woke up at, you know what I'm saying, the afternoon, you always woke up at like 1 p.m. and then suddenly you have a job that requires you to wake up at 4 a.m., you know what I mean, and be there on site at 8. And then once you retire from that job, waking up early in the morning, that shit is easy, you know what I mean? Because you're used to it. So your baseline was here. You do the hard shit. It pulls your tolerance of how much you can handle in life all the way up here. So then now you can meet in the middle. So now when you're done with that crazy intense shit, you know that you could, you know at your best, you could do this. So now your average of, your output in life, of how much you can do, of what you can expect from yourself, you know what I'm saying, is not here. Your baseline is pulled up, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was my essay and my thing on intensity training. Do crazy shit, do intense shit, and then your tolerance for things just goes up. I think that is the end of my speech, and I hope you guys have a good day, and let me know what you think, because, yeah. Bye bye.